Imagine this. A man walks into an airport. He's wearing a normal suit. Calm, quiet, nothing suspicious about him. He buys a plane ticket, and just a few hours later, that same man becomes one of the most mysterious criminals in history. A criminal the FBI USA, and today we're going to talk about a crime that is still considered one of America's biggest unsolved mysteries. This is the story of a man who hijacked a plane, demanded $200,000 in ransom, and then disappeared into the night. This is the story of D.B. Cooper. November 24, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving in the United States. A man arrived at the airport in Portland and bought a ticket for Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, which was traveling from Portland to Seattle. When he purchased the ticket, he wrote the name, Dan Cooper. Later, because of a media mistake, the name became D.B. Cooper, and that's the name history remembers. The man appeared to be around 40 to 45 years old. He was wearing a black suit, white shirt, tie, and sunglasses. Everything about him looked completely normal. There were 36 passengers and crew members on the plane. Shortly after the plane took off, the man handed a folded note to a flight attendant. At first, she thought it was just his phone number, so she ignored it. Then the man leaned closer and quietly said, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." When the flight attendant read the note, she was shocked. The message said there was a bomb in his briefcase. He asked her to sit beside him and slightly opened the briefcase to show what was inside. She could see wires and red cylinders that looked like sticks of dynamite. The man then explained his demands. He said that when the plane landed in Seattle, he wanted $200,000 in cash, and 4 parachutes. If his demands were not met, he would blow up the plane. The flight attendant quickly informed the cockpit. The pilot contacted the authorities. The plane was kept in the air for a while so the authorities could arrange the money and parachutes. About 2 hours later, the plane landed in Seattle. The FBI and police secretly met his demands. A bag containing $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes was delivered to the plane. Cooper checked the money carefully. After confirming everything, he allowed all the passengers to safely leave the aircraft. Now only Cooper and a few crew members remained on board. Then Cooper gave the pilot new instructions. He ordered the plane to fly toward Mexico City. But he also gave some very unusual conditions. The plane had to fly at about 10,000 feet, at a relatively slow speed, and the landing gear had to remain partially lowered. The plane took off again. Outside, it was dark and raining heavily. The crew members stayed inside the cockpit while Cooper sat alone in the rear section of the aircraft. After some time, he told the crew to remain in the cockpit and close the door behind them. Around 8 p.m., the cockpit crew felt a strange jolt in the plane, as if the rear door had been opened. At that moment, they had no idea what Cooper was doing. Later, investigators realized what had happened. Cooper had opened the rear staircase of the aircraft, put on a parachute, tied the bag of money to himself, and jumped out of the plane into the dark, stormy night. When the plane eventually landed in Reno and the authorities searched the aircraft, Cooper was gone. He had vanished into thin air. After that, the FBI launched a massive investigation. The case was given the name, NORJAK, short for Northwest Hijacking. For years, investigators searched forests, rivers, and the entire area where Cooper might have landed. But they never found Cooper, his parachute, or even a body. Then in 1980, an unexpected discovery was made. Near the Columbia River, an 8-year-old boy found several old $20 bills buried in the sand along the riverbank. When investigators checked the serial numbers, they confirmed that the money was part of the same ransom given to Cooper. Even with that discovery, however, no clear answers were found. There was another interesting detail about the case. Cooper had asked for 4 parachutes. Experts believe he did this intentionally. By asking for multiple parachutes, he made authorities think he might take a passenger hostage during the jump. Because of that possibility, the police could not risk giving him a sabotaged parachute. Over the years, many theories have been proposed. Some people believe Cooper died in the wilderness after jumping from the plane. Others think he was a trained paratrooper who survived the jump and escaped successfully. The FBI investigated hundreds of suspects over the years, but none of them could be definitively proven to be Cooper. In 2016, the FBI officially closed the investigation. That means even today, the world still does not know who D.B. Cooper really was, or whether he survived the jump. And that is why the case of D.B. Cooper remains one of the greatest mysteries in criminal history. A man hijacks a plane, takes $200,000, and then disappears into the night as if he never existed. Even today, people continue to create theories online, documentaries are still being made, and investigators study old FBI files, but the truth remains unknown. And just imagine, somewhere out there may have once been a man who committed the perfect crime, and disappeared forever, becoming a legend in criminal history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and leave a comment telling us which crime story you want to see next. And for more true crime stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.